Paragon Realty Partners stops in with a special agent. Talks to us here at the Elegant Home Podcast. Stay tuned. Welcome back to another episode of Elegant Homes. I'm your host, Don Riley, where we make every home elegant, one home at a time. It is a beautiful, beautiful Sunday here in the studio, and I'm honored today to be here, and it's just amazing. We're about a few weeks from summer, right? Summer's on its way, spring, summer, and man, as the home improvement business continues to grow, and things are just moving in the right direction. You know, people are starting to look at the outside of their home, getting ready for this season. And I noticed that as we do these walk-arounds with folks, they're spotting all kinds of things to do on their home for this summer, you know, as far as outdoor patio living spaces, to decks, to new siding, to new roofs. So things are starting to fire up here in the home improvement business. Also want to talk a little bit about our back home patriots. You know, guys, we strive to do the best we can do for our American veterans who give us all on a daily basis. And I am sad to announce that our last project for Mr. Louis Reynolds of Crescent Springs, Kentucky, we got the news that Lou passed away on Thursday night, and man, it was a blow to us and the back home team and everyone that jumped in. And I want to thank everybody who helped on that project. And all I can say from the bottom of my heart is thank you. This means so much to me and my family for what you guys stepped in and did, from all the volunteers, all the people that jumped in. I want to especially thank the Ludlow Lions Club. They gave us a donation for that project. And to lose Lou after 4 weeks of really grinding and making his bathroom amazing, it turned out amazing. It just broke my heart. So keep Lou and his family in your prayers. He was an amazing man, lived an incredible life. From some of the stories, he was married for over 50 years. Him and his wife passed away at 74. Lou ended up living to be 88. So he had an amazing life. So let's honor him today. Today, I'm going to honor Lou we're going to call this the Lou Reynolds Show. So today we're honoring Lou right here at the Elegant Home Podcast. So Lou, we salute you, sir. God bless you. We will see you again. We know that for sure. And thanks for your service. That means so much to me and everyone that was around us at that project. And we hope that you rest in peace. So this is the Lou Reynolds Show today at Elegant Home Podcast. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back, and we got a special guest with us today. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to the Elegant Home Podcast. I'm your host, Don Riley. We make every home elegant, one home at a time. Well, you know, on this beautiful Sunday morning, we got a special guest with us today. He's a good friend of mine. He's really carved a path for himself in the home improvement industry. He is with the Paragon Realty Partners, and they're pretty big here in our town. And I want to introduce my great friend and good friend, Mr. Bill DeAndre. Welcome to the Elegant Home Podcast, Bill.
Hi, Don. How you doing today?
Good. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in the realty business right now. You're seeing rates at an all-time high, but every time I talk to you, you're still selling real estate. So tell us what's going on.
Well, real estate, I know the interest rates have gone up, and basically there's still no inventory out there because people are scared to put their houses on the market, that they aren't going to find a house that they want because there's no inventory. So in return, just as quick as the house comes on the market, it's usually sold within 2 to 3 days, or pending within 2 or 3 days. So interest rate, I always say, 7%, but 7% in interest rate in housing compared to 100% in renting, it's a no-brainer.
Wow.
You know, so I always tell people, you know, you want to pay 7% or you want to pay 100%. So that's one of the moves that I would definitely say people need to make.
And Bill, how are you? So I know the inventory is harder to find today. So what kind of research do you do that kind of puts you in front of that next potential buyer? Is it just your customer base from doing it for all these years, or how do you seek out your next real estate deal?
A lot of my customer base is referrals, and a lot of realtors don't stay in touch with their the clients in the past. And that's a blessing for me because, you could go up and ask anybody, you bought a house, who'd you use? And 90% of them can say, I can't remember. And that's a shame. I try to stay in front of my clients at least 4 times a year, either by a phone call, personal touch, mailers, and I always send out their HUD statements, the closing statements to them at the end of the year, so for the tax purposes, for the new ones that bought that year. So many people misplace those, and, oh man, this really helped me out. Now I can give this to my accountant.
And one of the things I love about Bill is he always puts himself in front of the public. And for years, I would always see your signs in people's yard with your big picture on there. And love him or hate him, but you're never going to forget Bill DeAndre when it comes to real estate. And he still does that. Tell me your philosophy behind that, Bill. Because I know you really try to keep yourself out there and keep yourself relevant. And I know it's hard in any business today, but in real estate, it's really hard because there's so many realtors, like home improvement guys. So what do you do to put yourself above the curve when it comes to real estate? Well,
the biggest thing is getting yourself out there and letting people, I did have a restaurant prior to while I was still in real estate, but that was a lot of my client base, and a lot of people recognize my face, not my name as much, so that's why I put my pictures on my signs. I love my pictures on the sign. I just hope nobody ever sees it in the post office.
Yeah. Well, the thing I loved about it is, it gives you that personal touch, and people get to know you. People even know you outside of real estate. But what I always say, when you put a face to a name, it just somehow it makes you want to do business with that person. You know what I'm saying? And I think the way you roll that out is pretty brilliant, as far as I'm concerned. I remember you used to have it on your car. You used to have your picture all over your car.
I still do.
Yeah. Well, we got Bill DeAndre here with us today, and we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back, and we're going to talk some more about real estate. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Elegant Home Podcast. I'm Don Riley. We got our special guest, Mr. Bill DeAndre, with us, and we took a short break there. And Bill, in home improvements, some of the things we run into as a home improvement professional is we run into a lot of lead paint, especially in old historical areas with windows and doors and outside of siding. And also we run into a lot of radon issues. Tell us a little bit. First, let's talk about radon. As a realtor, when you go into a home and you do a test, you find out they got radon, what's the protocol for you as a professional real estate person? What do you do with that customer? How do you handle that situation?
Well, in the radon situation is basically it's the ground and the radon coming up from the ground. And so you got to find a way to mitigate it. And what we basically give them 3 or 4 companies that can do this item and take care of it, and let them deal with the client. Now, if I got the seller, I'll be on top of it. If the buyer, their agent will be on top of it, being sure that it's being taken care of and the price that will be paid. Then it's negotiable between the buyer and the seller who will pay it.
Wow. And then, has that ever cost you a deal, these radon tests?
It's never cost me a deal. I have cut my commission due to that to help out it to be accomplished.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah. And another thing we run into a lot too is, especially I've noticed, like in Dayton, Kentucky, some of these larger towns that have these older 100-year-old homes, is lead-based paint. And and I know you were telling me a story not too long about your daughter she bought a house and she'd had some problems with lead-based. So tell us a little bit about, I know you know a lot about the lead-based paint.
A lot more than what I originally do. Yes, my daughter bought a house in Newport, and my grandson came down with lead-based poisoning. He's finally been checked over the last 3 years now, and it's finally dropped down to 0.3. which is a blessing to me. But it lightened my eyes up more about lead-based paint. And I had the Board of Health. They got involved because of the lead-based paint poisoning. And they gave me 4 clients that I had to use. And I couldn't use my contractor, which was Elegant Homes. And but they said, no, you have to use one of these 3 people. And it cost me $20,000 out of my pocket. But at the same time, my grandson's taken care of. The houses no longer got lead-based paint. But the Board of Health will personally check any River City house for free for lead-based paint. Where a lot of people, if you go get a lead-based paint check, it's $1,500 or more. Wow. So I've been preaching. Tony from the Board of Health has told me, give him a call. He'd be glad to check any house that I got listed or that I'm in the process of selling for free to let us know if he sees any lead-based paint.
Wow. And, are you seeing more of this as you do some of these older homes?
Any house built before 1978 can have lead-based paint. And yes, it's very dangerous. Kids like to eat it. And it's not that bad, I guess, on adults because we don't put it in our mouth. We know it's paint and we don't chew on it. But little kids, they are apt to pick it up. They say it's sweet, like chocolate. So they want more of it.
Wow. That's, well, I'm glad that you brought that up because, I'm lead certified and, that's very important to us at our company too, because, bringing in the vacuums and the zip walls and making sure we're doing these things the right way because we know sometimes there's lives in stake when it comes to this lead base and we don't take it, lightly. It's a serious matter for us too. So I'm glad you got that to take care of. I'm glad your grandson's and doing well. So, as we do a wrap up here, Bill, tell us a little bit how we can get in touch with you as a realtor and let we got over 56,000 on our TikTok, Instagram. So that way, if they need to get a hold of someone in real estate, how they can reach out, tell them how they can get in touch with you.
Well, first along, my phone number, 859-240-7692. Again, I'm going to repeat that, 859-240-7692. Or B as in Bill, DeAndre, DANDREA 71 @gmail.com.
When we want to thank Bill, he's one of the best when it comes to real estate. So guys, get in touch with Bill if you need any real estate needs at all. And I'm sure Bill will guide you down the right path when it comes to real estate. Bill, thank you for being at the Elegant Home Podcast today.
Thank you.
Well, we really enjoyed Bill being here today. It's been a great show. Once again, we want to thank all of you out there for listening and watching and supporting the Back Home Patriots and also supporting the Elegant Home Podcast. And once again, we salute the Lou Reynolds show here at the Elegant Home Podcast today. Lou, we miss you, and God bless you, sir, and we'll see you down the road. This has been another episode of Elegant Home Podcast. I'm Don Riley, your host, where we make every home elegant, one home at a time. We'll see you next time.
Once again, I'm Don Riley. Thank you for watching, and you can catch us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, and also good old TikTok. We'll see you next time right here at the Elegant Home Podcast.